Hey everybody, I'm Angela. I'm the founder of AsFreeAsYouSee.com. You have come to the right place if you are feeling stuck and lost and like you're not living up to your fullest potential. And what I do is I help you get unstuck and reach that fullest potential by doing the work on the inside so that it reflects in your reality. And I do this by providing you tools and resources in self-discovery, healing, and stepping into your personal power. And let's get started because you are not going to want to miss this. Today, I want to share with you 3 things you must know about self-care while we are on lockdown. Look, I help people do the inner work, and that means that I actually see a lot of stuff out there and read a lot of stuff on what self-care is. And a lot of it is bullshit. It just is. I hate to say that. No, they're not necessarily wrong, but it's very surface, right? Going to get a mani and a pedi and getting your hair done is self-care. But what is that going to do for you when your emotions are high and you're triggered and you're feeling the weight of the world? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot, number one, because you can't even go and do it right now. But also, it doesn't make your emotions and your triggers go away. It does for like maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3, depending on what type of hair you have. But I'm telling you that self-care is beyond going to do that kind of stuff. And I really want to talk to you about that while you are on lockdown, because I don't want you to continue to take on these common misconceptions about self-care, because it is time to really discuss what self-care is and what self-care is not. That's why I'm going to share with you 3 things that you must know about self-care while you are on lockdown. And this is all going to be very open and honest and very straightforward about what self-care is. And the first thing that you need to know is that self-care is about keeping you neutral. And what exactly does that mean? Self-care is about helping you respond to life rather than react. Responding is when you are in a position to act or speak in grace, so that you are not saying things that you are going to eventually regret later, or you won't regret the thing that you did. When you react, you just snap and you just say things that come pouring out of your mouth, and that usually means that you're triggered. And when you are in a position to see that you're triggered and respond the way that is appropriate for you and that other person, it actually helps you stress less, but also it actually shows that you are putting yourself first, because the reality is that we don't want to hurt that other person because of our woundings and our problems. And so when you are actually able to respond, it actually helps all of us, not just you. Self-care is about keeping you neutral. It's about keeping you at peace. It is about keeping you calm, chill, whatever you want to say that it is. It is really comes down to you being able to respond to life rather than react. And sometimes, even in those situations where someone says something to you or someone does something to you, and you're triggered and you react, and then in hindsight, you realize, well, maybe I didn't need to say anything at all. Like, it wasn't even worth my time or my effort. And sometimes that completely happens, and that's okay. That's what being able to respond to life is all about. The second thing that I want you to know is that self-care does not have to cost you anything. You are not required to spend money on self-care at all. Self-care looks like journaling, even though you may have to buy a journal, but you can really journal in your phone if it comes down to it. You can journal, you can meditate, you can listen to hypnosis, you can sit outside in nature and not do anything, you can take a nap, you can watch TV, you can watch YouTube videos, you can read, you can learn, you can sing, you can dance, you can do all of these things that are all about keeping you neutral, keeping you at peace, keeping you in a position that when you hear mom for the 90 millionth time in the last hour, you're not screaming at the top of your lungs and pulling out your hair. You can just excuse yourself and walk away from the situation or whatever. And sometimes you might end up freaking out. It's just a reality. Self-care does not have to cost you anything. I don't care what anybody tells you. It is not always about going to get manis and pedis and getting your hair did. The third thing that I want you to do to keep self-care in mind while we're on lockdown is to consider the 4 aspects. And I call them the 4 aspects of self, and it's because I believe that no matter who you are or what you've been through or what it is that you believe, that we are broken down into 4 aspects, and that's mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. And when you are working on your self-care or building a self-care routine, you want to keep these things in mind while you are building your self-care routine, because when you consider those 4 aspects, they will actually help you stay more neutral and more at peace more of the time. So that means that when you are building a self-care routine or creating one that works for you, you want to consider what you can do as the physical aspect, whether that's running or working out or doing yoga or just stretching or doing low impact, or what is it called, lit or hit cardio, I don't know what it is. But where you can do physical activity. Maybe it's just walking, and that's completely okay. Get that physical activity in because we all need it. The second thing to do is consider what you can do for your mental health. This can be journaling, this can be meditating, this can be whatever you believe works for you. Emotional can be journaling, meditating, hypnosis, working through your emotions, especially allowing yourself space, talking if need be. And spiritual is just about being. I don't mean it in any type of religion or spiritual practice. I personally believe that spiritual is just about being. So how can you be more present in your life? And that's what I think that part means. So when you're building your self-care routine to help you stay neutral, I want you to consider those 4 aspects so you are more likely to stay neutral and respond to life rather than react. And these are the things that I wanted you to know about self-care that have actually helped me respond to life no matter what is going on. I'm not going to act like I'm perfect at it. I am a single mom and do have to deal with a narcissistic baby daddy. So sometimes those things are hard to deal with. At the same time, I control me, so it's up to me to respond. And I know that the best way for me to respond is to make sure I'm putting myself first and to make sure that I am practicing, self-care daily. And you want to remember these things about self-care while you are on lockdown, because self-care is meant to keep you neutral. Self-care doesn't have to cost any money. And when you are creating the perfect self-care routine, I want you to consider the 4 aspects of self, which is physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Well, that might have been a lot of information for you. I totally get that. We are in crazy times. I know that you want to be able to respond and really get things done and be more productive. And I think the perfect way to do that is through self-care. If you have any questions about the things that I just told you, please leave them. I would love to answer them. If you have any comments, comment. If you resonated with this video, please like and subscribe depending on where you're watching this video. And I hope that you have a great day, and I really appreciate you being here. I'm Angela, and I'm the founder of AsFreeAsYouSee.com. See ya.